Hello! Thank you so much for being here. Showing up and coming to your mat says a lot about who you are. My name is Bobby and I'll be leading the practice today. And I'm so happy to be here with you. Let's begin in child's pose. Spread your knees out towards the outer edges of your mat and press down into the palms of your hands into the floor. Take a deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in, fill all the way up, and breathe out. Notice how your body is feeling. Each time we practice, we feel a little bit different. We might be a little tight today, or we could be a little looser than our last practice. Take another deep breath in, inhale, and exhale. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, come into downward facing dog. Let your head be really heavy here. Push into the four corners of your hands. Feel them on the floor. You want your fingers, your middle or your pointer finger, to be facing 12 o'clock towards the front of the room. As you're here, come onto the balls of your feet and try to line your ankles up over the balls of your feet. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in and breathe out. Walk your feet up towards your hands to the front of your mat. Take ragdoll. Let your head be really, really heavy here and sway side to side. Shake your head no and shake your head yes. Release your arms. And slowly here we're going to rise all the way up to extended mountain pose. Spread your 10 fingers out and set your gaze up towards the ceiling or slightly back. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to begin today's practice with one Om. Inhale. Rise up, sweep all the way up, extended mountain pose. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Press into the four corners of your feet. Lift your 10 toes up off the mat. Spread them out, and then gently set them back down. Breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold, exhale. Rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in Open your mouth and let it out. Take another deep breath in. Listen to the people around you breathing. Try to line your breath up with theirs. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Let it out. Exhale. Walk or hop your feet up towards your hands. Chair pose. Try to keep your knees aligned with one another. Breathe in. Your chin is tightly tucked here and your gaze is set forward. Breathe out. Breathe in. Fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right foot steps forward, warrior one. Inhale as you rise. Bring your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Spread all 10 of your fingers out. And set your gaze at the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Try to line your heel with your back foot with your heel of your front foot, so they make a straight line to each other. And you can slightly have your back foot angled towards the front corner of your mat. Takes tension off of your knee. Nice. One more deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Another deep breath in. Open your mouth and let it go. One more deep breath in. And let it go. Walk or hop towards the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold, exhale. Chair pose. Rise up. Try to keep your shoulders over your hips. So you have a slight lean here towards the back. Bring your hands to heart center and twist to the right. Come back to chair. Breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Raise your right leg up and take sunbird. So we have a bend in our lifted leg. Remember to breathe. Keeping our Ujjayi breath. flip your dog, or you can stay in sunbird. Okay, come back to high plank. Take side plank. Left arm and left leg raises, or you can put your right knee down. We want to make sure that we're engaging our core here, which is going to help us balance in this pose. Try to have your shoulder aligned over your wrist the best that you can. You have a straight arm. Come back to high plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Lift your left leg up. Take sunbird. Breathe. Flip your dog or stay here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, come back to high plank. Come to low plank. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Listen for your neighbor's breath. Inhale together. Exhale together. Nice. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Right leg steps forward, crescent lunge. You want to have both of your feet facing 12 o'clock, toes pointed at 12 o'clock. And then see if you can line your hips up. You might have to bring your right hip towards the back wall a little bit, or your front hip towards the front wall. Your left hip, towards the front wall a little bit. And find that alignment. You can use your hands on your hips first. Square yourself up and then raise your arms. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Set your gaze over your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Or if that bothers your neck, you can look towards the side wall. Make sure that your head is not hanging here. We want a nice, long, straight spine. Option to open your arms here. You're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, forward fold. Nice job. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left foot steps forward, crescent lunge. You want to set your gaze to the front wall. Have a slight tuck in your chin. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Sink just a little bit lower. And make sure you're engaging your back thigh. You want your back thigh engaged so that your back leg is almost straight completely. Option to open your arms here. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, chaturanga. Nice job. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Walk your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Come into chair pose. You want to line your knees up so they're parallel to each other. Your big toes slightly touching, heels can be a little bit apart. Sink 1 inch lower. Bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the right. Come back to chair. Take fingers to toes pose. So your peace fingers wrap around your big toe. And you want to let your head hang here. Let your head hang heavy. You want your feet about shoulder width apart. Release your toes. Come up into chair pose. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Option to open your arms here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take gorilla pose. So you want to put your feet on the palms of your hands, and you want to try to put most of your weight on the balls of your feet. If you can here, you can massage your wrist with your toes. Feels nice. Let your head hang heavy. Release your hands. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise all the way up, extended mountain pose. Come into eagle on the right side. Right leg goes over, right arm goes under. Set your gaze to the front of the room. And you want to try to align your elbows with your shoulders. Squeeze your thighs together. Nice job. Release. Come into eagle on the left side. Left leg goes over, left arm goes under. Set your drishti, your gaze, to the front of the room. Pick one point and try to focus on that point as much as you can. Release. Come back into eagle on the right side. try to make sure that your shoulders are lined up over your hips. So you might have to lean back just a little bit. You can also sink into that standing leg just a little more. Squeeze your thighs together. Nice job. Release. Take eagle on the other side. Come back into mountain pose. Stand nice and tall. Raise your right leg. Use your right arm. You can grab the inside of your right knee or your right foot. Extend your leg out to the right and look left. Just past your left fingertips. Come back to center. And take airplane. Palms face towards the ground. You want your chest slightly up here and your gaze forward, but we want to keep our chin slightly tucked. Keep both feet active here. Curl your toes and point them towards the ground. Keep that back foot active. Take half moon. You can use a block here. Right arm goes down, left arm comes up. Make sure you set your gaze here. You can look at the side wall or you could look at the ceiling, but we don't want to have our head dip down. Nice adjustment. Breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Walk or hop to the front of your mat. Rise up to mountain pose. Standing leg raise on the right side. On the left side, left leg raises. Bring your leg out to the left and set your gaze to the right, just past your right fingertips. Bring your leg back to center. Let your leg come down, but don't touch the floor. Straighten your leg. Face your palms towards the front of the room and take airplane. Now you want to keep your chest up just a little bit here and set your gaze just forward. So you're not looking at the floor and you're not looking at the ceiling, looking at the front wall. But try to keep your neck straight with your back here, so we have a nice long straight spine. Okay, take half moon. Left hand comes down to the floor, right hand up towards the ceiling. If you're using a block, try to use spider fingers, so we're not resting our whole entire hand down. And you can use any side of the block that's better for you. We want to set our gaze to the ceiling here, but if that's uncomfortable for you, you can look towards the right wall. Nice job. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Okay, walk your hands back towards your feet. Take one step forward on your mat. And come into dancer's pose on the right side. So we want our thumb to point up towards the ceiling, and we grab the inner edge of our ankle, or we can grab our shin. And raise your arm up before you start to tip forward. So find your balance point and then start to come forward. Nice job. Okay, release and come into dancers on the left side. Same thing, we want our thumb to point towards the ceiling as we grab our ankle or our shin. Try to keep your chest up here, so we don't want to be aimed all the way at the floor. Okay, release. Come into dancers on the right side again. Set your gaze at the front of the room. Pick one point. Okay, come into dancers on the left side. We're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Come into mountain pose. Stand nice and tall. Tall and proud. And take tree pose on the right. So find your balance first. Get your leg in place. And you can start with your hands at heart center. Press into the four corners of your standing foot. And then from there you can start to raise your arms and maybe your gaze comes up towards the ceiling. If you feel comfortable here, you can do a mini little baby back bend so your gaze goes just past looking straight up. Make sure that your core is engaged here. And release. Come into tree on the left side. Find your balance first. Hands at heart center. When you feel comfortable, make sure your gaze is set. Start to raise your arms. And then you can raise your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Rise up, extended mountain pose. Spread your 10 fingers out wide. Forward fold. Exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right foot steps forward, triangle pose. Come into it, whatever is comfortable for you. You can start with your hands above your head. You can have your hands at heart center. You can have your hands at your back. And find that position where you're comfortable. You want to bring your chest as close to your thigh as you can. Keeping both your legs straight here, but you can have a slight bend in your front knee. Soft joints. Halfway lift. Now spin towards the left side of your mat, so both your toes face the left side of your mat. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Let your head be really heavy here. Let it hang to the floor. It's okay to have a slight bend in your knees. And you want to have your toes slightly pointed in. Maybe you can widen your stance just a little bit more. Nice job. Walk your hands towards your right foot, the front of your mat, and take pyramid. Come into twisting triangle. You can use a block here for your left hand. So left hand comes down to the floor, right hand up towards the ceiling. Set your gaze to the right wall or to the ceiling. And keep your head aligned with your spine here. So you want to have a straight neck and not dip down or back. Nice job. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Step your left foot forward, triangle pose. Let your head be heavy here. Press into the four corners of both feet. And try to bring your chest closer to your thigh. Twisting triangle. Bring your right hand down to the floor, left arm raises. If you have a block here for your right hand, try to do spider fingers, so just your fingertips are touching the block or the floor. Nice job, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Listen to your neighbor's breath. Breathe in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Another deep breath in. And breathe out. Walk your feet up towards your hands.